What are you waiting for?
Come join the Geek Drums Nation. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. You may notice I'm using a different camera. My main camera is glitching at the moment. I don't know why, but hopefully it'll be back to normal by Monday, I hope. Anywho, today we are here to talk about Superman and Lois, that amazing season finale that aired last night, otherwise entitled, What Kills You Only Makes You Stronger. Now, before we get into this review, if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button, please turn on the alerts, and please hit the like button on this video so we can get this video circulating in this algorithm. Share it around to your friends, to your family, and I appreciate you guys for all the support thus far. Now, you guys know how I do in my reviews, so let's just break it down by characters if I can. Now, let's start out with Lois and Clark. The episode starts with Lois telling us that it's been 32 days since Lex has gotten out of prison. We all know how that went down when he just randomly showed up at the Kent farm. You know, he walked. He walked from Stryker's prison to the Kent farm just to, this Lex does not play. So he came to make his presence known, came to let her know you either have to retire or he's going to make her life a living hell. Now, I don't think it's really an ultimatum. He's going to make her life a living hell regardless. But we see her, Sam, and Clark talking about how they have not seen Lex Luthor in 32 days. They have not heard anything about his whereabouts. And it's concerning. She's worried. Like, she doesn't know who's going to come after next. She doesn't know if he's going to try to attack the kids. She doesn't know. And then, she even tells Clark that she's ready. They finally have their first intimate moment in months. That was a really, really beautiful scene. They even fly off somewhere. It was a really beautiful scene. I always love how when they're about to be intimate, Clark's just looking out a window. That was a really good scene. By the way, this episode should be called Superman and Lois, the Sexy Edition, because it was a lot in this episode. It was a lot. I don't mind it though. Superman and Lois at the end of the day is more than just a superhero show. It's a family drama, and they handle this stuff fairly well. So it was a beautiful moment to see, Clark and Lois becoming intimate again after it being so long of dealing with this cancer storyline. We haven't seen something like this since like the early days of season 1 in that flashback episode. So it was good to see them come back together as husband and wife. Good to see Lois getting back to her old self post this whole cancer scare, this breast cancer scare. Clark accepts her for who she is, new body and all, with the having the mastectomy or whatever, new body and all. And her monologue at the beginning summed that all up to a T, and I love that. Bitsy always kills those. I really enjoyed her this season. I really enjoyed her. Now, they come back and they tell the kids that they want to take a family trip to Italy, and they will talk about it over dinner. But then they go and meet up with Chrissy, and once they hear from Chrissy that she's pregnant, Clark also hears that the judge has been killed. I cannot think of the judge's name. Do I have it in my notes? No, I do not. But the judge that we met up with earlier this season has been killed, and Lois knows that it is Luthor. He is knocking people off his hit list. So that worries her, rightfully so. She should be worried. Now, let's jump over to Sam, because when we do pick up with Sam this episode, it is with Lois and Clark. And we see that he offers some good advice to Clark about Jordan, like not letting that anger fester too much because it could turn into something totally different, and you want to keep the family together. He wants to keep his family together. I love Dylan Walsh and as this version of Sam Lane. Like I've said before in numerous videos, other versions of Sam Lane have been portrayed as being dicks, which is what he really is in the comics. He's not really a nice guy. He's a general stern, and doesn't really care about feelings or nothing like that. So I really, really love this interpretation of Sam Lane. I am going to miss him, as everybody does know and should know. He is not returning in season 4 in any capacity, at least not at this time. Maybe his mind will change later on, but at this time he is not returning, per his wife via Instagram 2 weeks ago. So yeah, gonna miss him. But he does meet with them about the whole Lex Luthor situation. He also goes to meet with John and Nat and tell John that the DEO wants to offer John a full-time position at the DEO, but he would have to move to Metropolis. And Nat gets excited because she might be able to go to the DEO school, whatever she called it, and that will put her closer to Mateo. So John tells her, "Hey, simmer down. We're not making this decision this lightly just based on your feelings or whatever." But Sam needs to know right away. So then next time we pick up with Sam, he shows up to the festivities in front of Jordan with the woman that he met off an app. Now, to my surprise, that woman was Gretchen, who is the scientist that is also working with Lex Luthor. So when I saw that, I immediately knew, oh my God, Lex set this all up. This is a setup. this is a complete setup. And as we get further and further into the episode, we find out that yeah, it was a setup. Now I do hate that we do not see Sam at all after his initial abduction. So that makes me wonder: are they gonna kill him? Are they gonna kill him off? Are we gonna see him next season? Or are they just gonna say yes? My dad had to leave. He had to get out of town just to get away from Luther. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but I'm really, really anxious to see. So they need to work through this writer strike and potential Screen Actors Guild strike, so we can get the ball rolling on season 4. We need to get the ball rolling. Now with Jordan, Jordan does have a talk with his dad. Jordan does have a talk with his dad, and his dad tells him like, stop punishing Sarah. Stop being this jerk. Basically, in so many words, like stop doing this because things didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. That's not how life works. So Jordan and Sarah, they do reconcile. I'm glad they do reconcile because I was tired of it. But they also agree that maybe they shouldn't be friends right now. So they're just going to be acquaintances. That felt like a proper send off for her character, being a recurring character because, well, she won't just have to be in Jordan's orbit anymore, if you get what I mean. And I thought that was nice for them. I'm glad that they worked it all out because, well, it was getting kind of old. If I'm being completely honest, that's just my opinion. If you disagree, let me know down below in the comment section. But yes, that was getting very, very old. Now, Jonathan. Jonathan just wants to prove to the coach that he's very, very sorry. And, he's helping him set up. But the coach tells him in so many words, well, not even in so many words, he tells him straight up, I'll never forgive you. Now, honestly, I think he will. But yeah, it's just crazy that he was teasing him because he was looking Jonathan dead in the face when he was talking about like the one person that helped all of like this whole night of the meteor shower, like the setup for it and making it such a special event that all thanks is due to one person. And he's looking at Jonathan, and Jonathan's just sitting there smiling, and then he says Jimmy Choo in the audience. That was hilarious. John was so salty. Jordan thought that was hilarious as well. But that was good fun poked at Jonathan. The side characters did not have much in this episode at all. They had, Jordan and Jonathan had a good family moment when they found out about the trip, and when they were at dinner, they had good family moments too. I love Michael Bishop in this role. He just gives so much as Jonathan. I love it. Like that whole diner sequence was hilarious. It had me dying laughing. Let's jump to some more sexy time because John Henry finally asks Lana out on a proper date. Finally asks her out on a proper date, and that leads to other things because he tells her that he's going to be moving to Metropolis, and that leads to sexy time between those two, which it's about time. But let me jump to this real quick so we can jump to the other thing that blew my mind. Now, when we pick up with Kyle and Chrissy wakes up throwing up and tells Kyle that she's pregnant. Kyle is happy. He goes to tell the family, and they're happy for him as well. Lana says as long as she gets to spoil that baby, she took that in stride. We also find out that Lana wanted another kid at one point in time, but that never happened because they had their own family drama. Lana even tells John that her and Kyle are better off as friends, and she just feels like they were together just because of the history that they had. Yada yada yada. If things would have went differently, if Clark would have stayed, I'm sure some things would have changed. But hey, people's lives takes them in different directions. We'll leave it at that. So that leads me to this. Once they get this boat was crazy. Once John and Lana get to the festivities or whatever, they see Kyle making an announcement over the mic, and he proposes to Chrissy in front of the whole town. That rubs Lana the wrong way because it's shocking. I don't think Kyle even noticed that Lana was back there, but we don't get to see what happens with that. Why? Because we jump to Lex. And what is Lex doing? First of all, we find out that at the last episode, Lex is the one that saved Otis. Yes. Bizarro ripped Otis's ear off and was going to proceed to tear through his neck. But Lex hits him with the a yellow K gun, like just keeps blasting him and killing him. But he comes back even stronger. So Lex convinces Bizarro to let me keep killing you so you can reach your full potential, so you can get stronger. Now, what possesses Bizarro to let this happen? I do not know. But the insane array of yellow K weapons that were there, Is it yellow K or orange K? I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. Those weapons that were there, the axes, the guns, the grenades. Like, what was that? Like, oh my god! And like each member of Lex's team was just taking turns, just killing Bizarro. And yes, it was working. They were killing him, and he was coming back stronger. Now, Tyler killed this as Bizarro. Like when he first told him, like, "Let me kill you to make you stronger," and Bizarro was crying. Like I felt for him at that moment, but I think I get it. Like Bizarro, you've been turned into this monster. You were brought back from death. You've been turned into this monster. You feel like the other Clark forgot about you. You've lost your family. You've lost your friends. You're on this world that you don't belong on in the first place. What else do you have? So you let Lex Luthor turn you into this monster. Tragic story, but led to some great action. Great action. So, as I say, it's working. Also, before we do that, we see that they have to feed Bizarro an entire cow. And when the henchman had to walk the cow in there, the way he sprinted out of there, that man was running fast as ever. And that was hilarious. But, yeah, we see that. So, Superman is out listening. He's in outer space. He's listening, trying to find Lex. He finds him. Lex shows up at the Kent house. Who else shows up? Well, he uses the sonic emitter to call Bizarro, and Bizarro lands and bursts through the farm. Well, not the farm. He bursts through the barn. So Clark sees him. Clark instantly recognizes him. Said, "What did you let him do to you?" Clark feels horrible in this moment, but he has to stop him. Lex is like, either you're gonna kill him or he's gonna kill you. But he tells Bizarro, "Bring me his heart." So that's when we get the most epic fight ever in any Superman and Lois finale. This fight was phenomenal. Now, when Tyler Hoechlin said the last 15 minutes are going to blow your mind, he was not lying. He was not lying at all. We know somebody that has lied about, an episode being epic and it just turned out to be, hot garbage. Danny Nicolette, we're looking at you, but we'll leave that alone. But this, oh my God, I was standing up. I was screaming because are we getting the death of Superman, or do you think Clark will survive? Clark throws him in the water. I'm like, Clark, do something. But no matter what you use, anything you use against Doomsday, anything you use to kill him, it won't affect him anymore. So you froze him in the ice. You thought that was going to do the job. You tried to impale him on the spike in Metropolis. You thought that was going to do the job. It did not. He literally broke it off and, he started levitating. And mind you, he literally has all the powers of a Kryptonian, at least from the reverse side, from the Mirrorverse. So Clark, you have your work cut out for you. And Clark is giving him some go. They're giving each other some go. Like when he took him down into the subway station and was just punching him, like Clark's bleeding. But then even Jordan says, I don't hear Dad's heartbeat anymore. But we get a beautiful montage of Clark remembering, because at this time, like, okay, Bizarro Doomsday, Bazoomsday. That's what we're gonna call him, Bazoomsday. You're flying him into outer space as to where he may be able to feel the sun's rays hitting his body. So he's starting to heal up. He's coming back. He's rejuvenating. He's remembering this entire season, like the months and months that led up to this. And his family is bringing him back, which was beautiful. I loved it. So he punches Bizarro. I'm sorry, this man ain't Bizarro anymore. He punches Doomsday, Bazoomsday. He punches him, and they land on the moon. Guys, they're fighting on the freaking moon. Like, oh my God, they're fighting on the moon. Like, have you ever seen that before? Like, Superman was fighting Doomsday on the moon. I also want to say I'm glad Clark, even though that he landed in Smallville, he told Jordan, no, I'm glad that he landed in Smallville, but then took the fight elsewhere because they just had to repair that street. I would have hated to have seen the town square get torn apart. I just would have hated to see that. Would have been, I'm not gonna lie, it would have been hilarious. Like, just see, like, we just fixed it. Oh my God, what's going on? But I'm glad they did not do that. Superman keeping the property damage to a limit. Keeping the property damage to a limit. I like that. But back to the moon. They're on the freaking moon. And then that's when the episode ends. Like, oh, this cliffhanger. Oh my God. I am so excited for season 4. This episode, I give it a solid 9. 9 out of 10. It had slow moments. But other than that, this episode was amazing. Guys, let me know down below what you thought about this episode. Are you ready for season 4? I know I am. If you say you aren't, I'm sorry, you're crazy. Also, I want to say big congratulations to David Cornsweet on getting the role of Superman Clark Kent for the DCU. Tyler Hoechlin will be passing the mantle on to him. I'm so excited to see what he does with this character next. But until then, we have another season of Superman and Lois coming, hopefully sometime in 2024 if everything goes as planned with this writer strike. Hopefully they can get the ball rolling on filming. We can get some story details. It's a 10 episode season 4. I am so excited. If you are new here, like I said before, please like, share, and subscribe. To my channel and share this video around. And I will check you all next time.